Hey, you want some? They think we're at a restaurant. Hamburger. That's why I took this gig. These dogs. I said, should I play this one? I said, yeah, it's a hamburger place. Dad, take it.
God. These are the things we miss that we should be getting. We're on, aren't we? Oh, that's awesome.
The hamburger. We're gonna play Sam's Hamburger. Dad, that's where we want to play. We want to play Sam's Hamburger. That's our favorite place. They think they're gonna get some free hamburger.
It's awesome to have you up here with us.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you. In 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, this is Michael Arellano with Latin Fusion TV. Brandy's on vacation. She's actually working the gig today. So I have the special honor of meeting with or interviewing Joe King Carrasco here, a legend here in San Antonio. Do you need that light? No. It's not on. The switch. Oh, no wonder. Oh, that's bright. We had the. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead. All right. 3, 2, and. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Michael Arellano with Latin Fusion TV. I'm here sitting with a legend in San Antonio, a legend around the world, Joe King Carrasco. Joe, welcome back to San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. We're playing Sam's Hamburger Joint, and my dogs were really excited about this one because they wanted to play a place that had served hamburgers.
Joe, we've got a lot of questions for you today, but most of all, we appreciate you being with us here on Latin Fusion TV. Now, I understand that this particular event you're doing tonight or this performance you're doing tonight is with the Crowns. Is this the original band you used to be with?
The original band from 1979 to 81. Yeah, the original Crowns, and we really haven't played together as this configuration in 31 years, 30 years. So it's, I mean, it doesn't feel like 30 years, but hey, I guess it is 30 years, right? Ow!
What got you guys back together?
It was kind of accident because I live in Mexico, I live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and I get offers to come back up and play the United States, and somebody wanted us to play Antones with a band called the Skunks, who were like a kind of a new wave punk band back in the late 80s or early 80s, and I thought, well, if I do that gig with the Skunks, then I've got to bring the original guys to do it, so because it'd be that audience. So, and then all of a sudden, the Skunks, I got them, everybody got to get back together, and the Skunks backed out. Then Kim, who organizes my stuff, started booking all these other gigs. All of a sudden, it became a reunion tour, and it's really been amazing, man. The audience has been great and everything.
Well, you're a legend here in San Antonio. We used to come see you guys when y'all played at La Semana Alegre every year. You played on Monday nights, and there was a lot of beer flowing, a lot of jumping around, a lot of slam dancing, if you recall. Yeah. Let me ask you about that. Do you feel that you were one of the initial groups that started slam dancing?
Yeah, that and crowd. So people say I was the first guy to do crowd surfing, so, and that was sort of by accident. But yeah, because of the enthusiasm, and I still do it. I got my neck.
Well, we know that a lot of people would feel that the mosh pit is where it's at, and it's a lot of fun. But now, back then, it was a lot more safe. There was a lot less trouble.
Yeah.
What's the difference today between the audiences of today and the audiences of the 80s?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, we played Semana Alegre. The first year I dove an audience, it was pretty crazy, and it was pretty, but the next year I dove an audience between 82 or 83, it got really crazy. I lost my shirt, and I went in the audience, all of a sudden I came back, and I had no shirt, and everything got ripped off. So within that 1 year, it got pretty crazy, just within a year. Now, when I play for, the people that I play for now are more like our age, so if I'm crowd diving, man, they're all like, they barely hold me up, but it's not as intense. It's better, Now, if you're the young band, that's probably a different story,
Right.
I see some pretty crazy, because of being in Mexico, I see some pretty crazy mosh stuff going on in Mexico. Really amazing. It's pretty intense.
Now, you've been in Mexico for 6 years.
Yeah.
What took you to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, I like Puerto Vallarta because it's a bilingual kind of place. It's like San Antonio in a way, but it's a tourist place. It enables me to play 4 or 5 nights a week, and the tourists are coming in, or people, they get the paisanos from Mexico or the tourists from North America, and I have a place there called Nacho Daddy, okay?
Right.
And it's kind of like this, and so I play there a few nights a week, and I don't have to tour, and so when I'm not touring, on the days off, I can go to the beach and surf, Or I can go an hour up in the mountains and be like in Colorado or Santa Fe and be freezing. It can be this hot outside like San Antonio, and an hour and a half up in the mountains, you're cold. You have to put a jacket on. So that's kind of cool. And I go up and down the coast and camp out a lot and surf and I guess I think it was about 3 weeks ago I stepped on a stingray when I was body surfing. That was pretty intense.
Almost a Steve Irwin experience,
Yeah,
but
that's
wow,
man, this is intense.
that could be pretty scary, especially at our age.
I could see why I killed him. But it's one of those things. So wear your swim shoes.
Wear your swim shoes, he says. Joe says. Tell us a little bit about this crown that's in front of us.
Well, actually, the bones in this crown I don't remember what year it was made, but it was probably about 15 years ago at the Hard Rock Cafe. Made me a crown here in San Antonio. And we take the bones off, we replace the crown this week. And so I collect Mexican folk art stuff, so a lot of stuff, tin stuff from Oaxaca and different parts of Mexico. But the bones come from the Hard Rock Cafe here in San Antonio.
Might have been one of the rib dinners that we finished off, Joe.
Yeah.
Might have been one of the rib dinners.
It's hard. It's definitely ribs.
Well, this is very neat. How did you get started wearing crowns and hats?
Well, okay, back in man, let me get my brains together here. 79, put my first CD out, or 78. Okay, I cut my first record here in San Antonio.
Okay.
In 1976 on August 16th. Okay, that was 76. It's ZA Studios on West Commerce, and then Augie Myers wanted me to do an album, and so I started working on an album. We kept cutting it at ZA Studios, and I put that record came out about 78, the album, and we were, had been playing as El Molino at first, right? It was El Molino, it was Charlie McBurney and Rocky Morales, everybody from the West Side, the West Side Horns, and I noticed that every time we played a few gigs, if somebody didn't show up, the club owner would say, "Hey, they're not all here." So I figured I have to do, so that's how it became. Joe King Carrasco was Joe Nick Potowski, who was my manager then. I wanted to be Count Carrasco, right?
Okay.
Because Count Carrasco, and he says, no, King's better. And that's how it became King. I didn't think I was a king or anything. I wanted to be Count. But actually, so as soon as we had the King thing, then the Crown came in, and then we started doing that, and then we started, then the Crowns, and the band was called And the Crowns, right? So and it became Las Coronas and stuff. So, but the Crown thing's been a pretty good little thing. This far.
Well, that certainly has, as has the cape. Now, I always thought the name Joe King was more joking, a double entendre, because of the lyrics that you write and the titles of the songs. What inspires you to name some of the songs that you name?
Well, I think, because I've most of my life being in South Texas, it's like Nick Villarreal and all that stuff. You just have fun with the music, make it fun, and real catchy lyrics and stuff that gets people dancing, right? But definitely San Antonio influenced me. That's what Jalapeno con Big Red was. When I was hanging out in San Antonio at that time, I noticed that everything was jalapenos and Big Reds. So it was Jalapeno con Big Red. And then Rock Esta Noche was like Rock Tonight, and that was a song about Palenque and Chiapas. And it's just, I like to try to, I think bilingual, and Spanglish is really a good thing. And like what I'm doing in Mexico right now is we're taking a lot of the old stuff and putting it all in Spanish to release it in Mexico,
Well, that I wish you well with that.
Yeah, it's we've got a really good following in Mexico City and Nesa, if anybody knows where that is, and so it's a whole nother market, man. It's a great market, and I like, and our stuff's, the music's Latin and it's got the the titles, but we're gonna do more Spanish,
Well, good luck with that. Sorry, my brain froze. I was going to try to segue into something.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Let's see where we're at.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it was the whole idea behind Nuevo Huevo.
Yeah, well, I can go to that.
So what was the idea behind Nuevo Huevo?
Okay, so we were, so I did El Molino, and the first record that I cut here in San Antonio was more like, West Side kind of sound, kind of blues, but polkas and we're Tex-Mex blues, and so I was still playing that, and we started the punk scenes kind of started up in Austin, which, I really didn't know what that was, and but we started playing at Raul's. That's when Chris, my keyboard player, and we started playing at Raul's, and Raul's was kind of like a punk place, right? And so what happened was that we still playing the polkas. The polkas got faster, and the skirts got shorter, and music got faster, and all of a sudden it became Nuevo, which was still like Tex-Mex but speeded up.
Okay.
You know.
Now I know you've played with a lot of great names. I've seen them on your albums and CD. Who's been your biggest influence throughout the years?
Like Sir Douglas Quintet, and and Sam Sham, and Little Joe. I mean, I like all the Tex-Mex stuff, Sonny and the Sunliners, and Steve Jordan, and Nick Villarreal, and I mean, I like them all. And then Ramon Ayala, I like, and so I like, that's what I listen to, is mostly Latin music.
So the question I have for you is, ¿eres mexicano?
Yo, it's alemana. My fan alemana, a German. But I think that's why it's like Doug Sommer's German, and so is Augie. So it must be some kind of a correlation between the Germans and the Mexicanos. I don't know.
There's a lot of German influence
Yeah.
in the Latino music,
Yeah.
and especially in the Mexicanos.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Germanic influence.
And there's in Mexico it's like that too. There's a lot of German people, and that had it. I don't know how they got there, but they're in Mexico, like me, I guess.
Well, speaking of Mexico, I know that you're working on a new project. We've got a new CD release. It's called the Perro Project.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about what you're doing in Mexico with the Perros.
Well, living in Puerto Vallarta, a lot of I do a lot of free shows and stuff and benefits for the SPCA in Puerto Vallarta, and it's a big thing, because dogs in Mexico really have been, dogs anywhere, but it's hard to be a dog in Mexico. And I have a friend of mine. She runs a shelter in Mexico City with 5,000 dogs.
Oh Lord.
5,000 dogs they have to feed every day in Mexico City, and and so I love dogs. I mean, I got my dogs right here, and so half the proceeds of this go to vivaperros.org, and you can find your any pet shelter around the world and give them some money, and I'm thinking, I really want to, and everybody's going, what? I'm going to give all my recordings proceeds to dog rescue. That's what I want to do, So that's where I'm going with it, and because dog rescue is really important. I mean, dogs have souls, man. Paddles,
Yeah, they do, and they always say dog is a man's best friend.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's absolutely true.
right here.
So who's this right here on our lap?
Anaconda, or Ana la Cabrona. But she's 14, and these are her two sons, and and so it's, to me, they were with me on this show on the road because I love them so much, and they're like my best friends, and they keep, wherever I'm touring, if the dogs are there, I don't get lonely to be home because I'm home because I have the dogs with me.
That's real important. Now, with this album or CD that came out, you also had another release called Tattoo Laredo.
Yeah.
And this is some of your older music that you brought back to the forefront. Is that correct?
Right. Well, we recorded it back, after when Chris left, but I played late 80s and early 90s. I started playing Little Joe's son-in-law was Tom Cruise, who's back with Little Joe, and I played with Javier, had been his drummer a little bit, and then different people that played with Little Joe, and with Little Joe's, I love Little Joe, and we were playing my stuff I wrote, and we started recording. It was rock and roll, and these guys are great musicians. I mean, this CD right here should be called the Tom Cruise CD because Tom Cruise is the best guitar player in Texas, right? Anyway, he used to do all the session work for La Mafia and stuff like that, and another person that played for La Mafia is David De La Garza, whose dad plays around here, and David and I play together a lot too. So they're great musicians, man.
This is a great CD. One of the recurring themes I found in this particular CD was relationships.
Yeah.
Everything about Crawl, It Hurts to Hurt.
Oh, yeah.
One Love. Last Call is not about last call for drinks, but last call for love.
Yeah.
What's with the relationships?
I probably was going through a divorce about the time I wrote those songs. I remember I wrote Crawl. I wrote it on Las Vegas Boulevard. We were leaving Las Vegas. I remember that. Whenever I see a song, I can tell you like the location where I wrote the song. Another Stake in the Grass came out of Kansas. What's that one? I can't,
Care to explain?
Care to explain. I wrote that for my ex-wife actually. Crawl. That was probably my ex-wife.
Dirty Job.
Dirty Job. That came from when we recorded out in California back in the 80s. That's when the session that Michael Jackson was on, and the guy said rock and roll's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
That's right. That's right.
And see, what's this one?
Hurts to Hurt.
You can still see really good, man. Hurts to Hurt. Oh, that came out of that too. It's like, go from one relationship to the other, and you're breaking up, and it hurts to hurt. Because you broke up, you're with somebody else, but you're still hurting about the other one, and you're like totally undecided. So hurts to hurt, man. I mean, these songs are all like, they came out of a lot of pain, man. Believe me. Even though I'm laughing right now. Last Call for Love. That came out of we're playing in Toronto, Canada, at a place called the Bamboo, and the guy said, "Hey, man, it's Last Call for Love. Everybody out of here." And what's this one?
One Love.
Oh, One Love. It came from my little boy. One Love Beat in My Heart. He was my son. It's about my son. Written on Father's Day. Prisoner of Your Heart and Soul. That was definitely about relationships. See, what's this one?
Still Your Love.
Joe can't see. That's a lot of relationships. I guess rock and roll brings a lot of relationships. Still Your Love, and that came out of that.
And then Won't Let You Fall.
Won't Let You Fall was about my son. Taking care of him. Won't Let You Fall.
That's an endearing song. I really enjoyed listening to this CD.
Yeah, so it's a good CD, man. I really like it. We finished it down in Mexico, and it's the fact that some of the musicians playing, and we have Vamos a Get Down too. Do you have Vamos a Get Down here? Can you bring Vamos a Get Down? Yeah. Vamos a Get Down's done same sessions, and a lot of the musicians playing on this stuff are from Mexico. That we added stuff on from Chihuahua and Cubans. I play with a lot of Cubanos in Vallarta, who a lot of bands from Cuba are playing in Vallarta, so I play with all those guys too.
Much like this is a big deal for me, being able to sit and talk with you.
Yeah.
Who has been a big deal for you to work with?
Well, it was a pretty big deal working with Michael Jackson.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal. But it's at the same time, I think musicians, I mean, playing with everybody I play with has magic, right? And he had his magic, but then, I play with a lot of street guys in Vallarta who are just, incredible musicians. And who, they're not playing for the money; they're playing for the love of the music, for the soul, and that's the nice thing. And so, and play with the Cubans too. Those guys are. I play with so many good musicians. I love them all, man. But yeah, it's hard to say. It's weird. Everybody's got their magic,
Sure.
And I'll play with anybody.
Well, to be able to put your magic into CDs, and that's the one thing that you also do on stage.
Yeah.
You've always been able to project that magic, that passion to the crowd.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you for what you do, and we look forward to seeing you tonight here at Sam's Burger Joint. Any last words you want to leave with us about?
We're going to bring Vamos a Get Down too. I'll show you the other one. It's like this artwork right here, because I'm into design and art too. So like this came from a girl, she was a friend of mine. She did this, she found us in the back alley somewhere, the art, and this is the pictures of the guys in the band, Tom Cruise and Shuggy, and all these guys. I love all the musicians I play with, and we try to, I'm in on all the aspects of the art and the design. That's what I like to do. And the guy that did this thing here, the Perros, his name's Lee Chapman. He's a real famous artist in Vallarta. So he does all these photos of the dogs. This is a Mayan dog.
I'll make sure to take a picture of that. That's actually a very cool picture. I was sharing that with Brandy today. I really like that.
And Gil, the sax player right here that plays on this CD, he's from San Antonio, from West Side San Antonio. He plays just like Rocky Morales. Rocky is, and so it's I still stayed in touch with touch with the San Antonio thing through Gil. Gil, I think he left San Antonio, went to Vegas, ended up living in Vancouver, but he's from San Antonio, still has that San Antonio West Side sound, And then the bass player on this CD, Mike Cervantes, I've been playing with him for 6 years in Vallarta. He's like, man, so he and I, when we play, it's like, we both can read each other's minds as we play. So I just, the thing about living in Vallarta is I like to play a lot. At one time, I was playing like 6 nights a week. up and down the coast.
Does Mexico allow you more opportunities to play than the United States?
Well, it's probably less money, but it's but you know, I just if you like to play, you know, up and down the coast, it's a blast. You're playing, there's waves are breaking in, and it's, you know, it's got a lot of soul, man. Oh yeah, more stuff here.
We got Kim coming in with more goodies. This is cool. Joe King Carrasco.
This is the Danceteria CD. This was a CD that we did as a demo in 1980. March 1980 in New York. This was the demo that got us our first record deal, and it never got released. I just released it just now, and it's called Danceteria Deluxe.
Just now, right now, you got it first on Latin Fusion TV.
Yeah,
Thank you, Joe.
And it's got a really cool. Can you Kim? Oh, this is a poster artist in God, I can't get it open.
Pause it.
Can you open that up? Can you open this one up too?
Wow.
These things are hard to open.
They are. This is fabulous. Thank you for your time. How much time we got? We got about 10 more minutes.
We're cool.
God, I could talk to you all day.
Last time I was here was with Patricia Vaughn. You know who she is? Her brother's Robert Rodriguez,
Oh, is that right?
the filmmaker. Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw an article about one of his. Oh wow.
Okay, cool. So.
Oh my God, we were young.
Yeah, no. so you want to roll it again?
Yeah.
So.
All right, we're on. All right.
On Danceteria Deluxe, Carlos Hernandez, he's a artist in Houston. He did the stuff, but he's really a great artist. He's going to start doing my CD covers and stuff. But I'm really into, you know, it's a really cool design. This is done from an artist, Latino artist. He's a professor at Stanford University. It's pretty cool Day of the Dead stuff. And for Vamos a Get Down. And then the inside's the picture when we were way younger. That's Tom. He was little Joe's son-in-law, Javier, and so all these guys I've been playing for my whole life, you know. And this was a tourist shot. We superimposed our heads over the tourist in Tijuana from a picture from the 30s. So anyway, and this other thing is a show from 1984. It's called Dixie's Bar and Grill's Joe King Carrasco and the Crowns, and it's a DVD from 1984, and it's really cool. And it's, you know, it's got the mariachi thing in the front.
Did we have DVDs in 1984, Joe?
No, we did not. We made a DVD in 1980. That's the whole thing. We have the song right now. We're doing Person, right? You know what Person is, right? You know, when you call somebody Person.
No.
You know, when you called that house, when you want to talk to a certain person in the house, I'm calling person to person. Who's that person? Person's Alfredo. Okay, person called Alfredo. So if Alfredo's not there, Alfredo's not here. So it's a person-to-person phone call. Nobody knows what person-to-person is. What's person-to-person?
It's a phone call.
It's a phone call where you make to that person, right? Yeah. Wow, weird.
Well, in today's technology, it's text, so it's a whole bit different. But I am still one of those guys that needs to make a phone call. I need to talk to people. I don't like texting them.
Well, it's really strange in Mexico. It's all cell phones, but it's all you buy your time, right? So in Mexico, everybody's texting, because it's by the peso, you know. So everybody's texting, and then when you pay for your minutes, but you don't. If you're getting a phone call, you don't pay for the minutes, right? So what you do is you call somebody up, hang up, and they got to call you back to see what you wanted. I've learned a lot about texting living in Mexico, man.
Well, we're glad to have you back in San Antonio.
Okay, cool.
We appreciate you being on Latin Fusion TV. This is truly an honor for me.
Yeah.
This is truly an honor to have you back at San Antonio, and you know, keep up the good work. It's very apparent.
And these are all for you.
Thank you. It's very apparent that not only are you passionate about your music, but you're passionate about helping others in their artistic endeavors.
Yeah. I like art, man, and I like dogs, and so we're gonna start, you know, trying to get the vivaperros.org thing going on, and Hecho and Perro and all kinds of stuff, you know, and.
Well, we'll have a link on Latin Fusion TV where you can go and get some more information on the Perro Project. And Joe King Carrasco, this is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. And what do we say going out? Hola, Coca-Cola.
Hola, Coca-Cola. Ow!
This is Michael Ariano. We're here at Sam's Burger Joint. Stay tuned of more Latin Fusion TV where we interview Joe King Carrasco and some of the original members of the Crowns. We'll be right back. Sure.
This one, try not to put too much of a pause between the original members of the Crowns.
Okay. Remember, you can cut that.
3, 2, 1.
This is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. Stay tuned as we interview Joe King Carrasco and the Original Crowns here on Latin Fusion TV. Hit pause. Hey, this is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. Stay tuned for more with interviews with Joe King Carrasco and the Crowns here on Latin Fusion TV. This is Michael Ariano filling in for Brandy Lopez. Brandy will be interviewing. This is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. I'm filling in for Brandy today, but stay tuned for some interviews with Patricia Sturla.
Take it up from
Where Brandy will be interviewing Patricia Sturla, a spokesperson for Garnier Hair Products Latina, and with Jonathan Joss, the voice of King of the Hill. And Jonathan Joss, the voice of Redcorn on King of the Hill. Stay tuned for more of Latin Fusion TV. This is Michael Ariano filling in for Brandy Lopez today. Today on back up. This is Michael Ariano. Today on Latin Fusion TV, Brandy Lopez will interview Patricia Sturla, spokesperson for Garnier Latina Hair Products, and Jonathan Joss, the voice of Redcorn, John Redcorn. And Jonathan Joss, the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill. So stay tuned for more of Latin Fusion TV. This is Michael Ariano sitting in for Brandy Lopez. Today, Brandy is going to interview Patricia Sturla, the voice of Garnier Food Products. Garnier Food Products. That's biodegradable. You could try it. It's great for the planet and it's good for you. We'll have to use that. This is Michael Ariano. Good afternoon. This is Latin Fusion TV. Today, Brandy Lopez will interview Patricia Sturla. That ice. Pause that. This is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. Brandy Lopez is out modeling today, so I'm sitting in. But more today. Later to...
Try not to put so much information.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing. I tell her the same thing. This is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. Today, Brandy Lopez is going to interview Patricia Sturla, the Latina voice for Garnier Hair Products. It's good for you, and it's good for the environment. Also, Brandy will interview Jonathan Joss as he gives us some of his secret recipes on how to wow your salad dressing. Jonathan Joss is also the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill. So stay tuned for more of Latin Fusion TV. Thanks a lot for this show. Thanks a lot for watching Latin Fusion TV. We're live from Sam's Burger Joint. We appreciate it. If you want some tater tots, come on down to Sam's Burger Joint for some great food and great music. This is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. We hope you enjoyed our show. And if you get an opportunity, come on downtown Broadway, San Antonio for Sam's Burger Joint. Good food, good tater tots, and great music. Have a nice day. We'll see you again. Until next time, adios. Hey, this is Michael Ariano. We hope you enjoyed your Father's Day. Be safe this 4th of July. This is Latin Fusion TV from Sam's Burger Joint for good food, great music, and the best tater tots in San Antonio. Sam's Burger Joint on Broadway. This is Michael Ariano out with Latin Fusion TV.
On the
the big screen?
the big screen at the club last night when we were playing, and I saw Martha Quinn, our producer, was there. I mean, everybody got into the act with Joe. That's the thing about Joe. He doesn't, he'll hang out with anybody. At the end of the show, he's there for half an hour, 45 minutes, till the last person. He talks to the last person that wants to talk to him. He's very humble in that respect.
Yeah, and I finally figured out what our message is when we're playing with Joe King.
Party.
Well, and that you have permission to act as goofy as you want.
Right on.
So everybody likes to have fun, and they see us having fun. They see Joe having fun. So
And everybody have fun.
then everybody has fun, and it's
Contagious.
Not, it is.
It's very contagious. So what's it like now that you've got a reunion tour going on?
It's pretty darn weird.
Yeah, it is. We never
It's
expected
like
it.
30 years ago, but it's not 30 years ago. And you look at those videos and you go, wow, what happened? I was so young.
Yeah, and then a lot of it comes back. I was surprised at how much comes back. It just hearing the songs that we used to play like one or two times, and then it just somehow
Yeah.
my fingers knew where to go. I couldn't tell you up here, but my fingers knew. What do you think?
I don't look like an old stuff. I just look like it's something that's coming back that never die. And it's rock and roll. It seemed like from the 50s to today, you know.
But did
And
it just come back to you or not?
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. It seems like everybody in all ages like it, and it's not an old thing. It's just music. Music never ends, never dies. So,
Like riding a bike.
yeah, anybody can write it. So
After you play a
we have
song
fun with
300 times, it's kind of like ingrained. But then, we're also have that certain looseness that you never know which song is just going to completely fall apart on any given night. So it's kind of exciting in
I
that
call
way.
it the mission from God. We're just here doing it again. God knows why. He knows, which is going along with it. People having fun with us, so that's what counts.
How has the audience changed?
You're older too.
Yeah, some of them are older, some of them are
Yeah,
younger.
it's a bunch of young people that like it. It's great all around, really. It's not about age; it's about rock and roll, like I'm saying. People
See-
young and all like it. So for me, that's what matters.
Joe is not satisfied until people are dancing or moving. That is his God-sent mission on earth to make you get up and shake your booty.
And it
you
seems
can,
like,
you
yeah,
can
a lot
see
of
it.
dance, a lot of music today popular music today isn't really dance music anymore. People aren't, so I think when we start playing again and they have the opportunity to get in the groove, then they're really glad. Because, yeah, I remember how to do this. And they can start dancing.
Were you guys around when they were doing the slam dancing at La Semana Alegre? Or did y'all play when it was at La Semana? Did y'all play La Semana?
I don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know.
Okay,
But
so that was after.
but I mean, I did my share of shoving in my day, and they did that. We started off in the punk
Punk rock days.
headquarters of Austin, which was Raoul's, and that's where we started playing Monday nights.
Yeah, and then the early 80s when we got to England, when we were playing there, that was heavy-duty punk. I mean, they had hair up to here, and people were spitting on the stage. I mean, that was the way
They were
the
saying,
audiences.
"Thank you, we love you."
express
Yeah.
their appreciation.
I was just like,
Tui.
whoa.
In Italy, they throw you coins, money.
And see, but I'll say this: back then, I didn't know how to gob, and then I learned how to gob in the early '80s. So that was pretty important.
What's gobbing?
Gobbing is where you get the slime with the spittle, and it gets good consistency.
We'll leave this part out of the tape.
This is all historical.
So say your names and the instrument you play.
Mike Navarro, drums.
Chris Cummings, I play keyboards.
Brad Kaiser play bass.
And how long have you been playing bass?
Well, I only played bass for the Crowns. Joe was my neighbor, and I was doing sound for him, and his bass player wasn't going to do a gig, and he said, hey, you want to play bass in my band? I sat in one night and played a couple of songs, and then the next day he said, hey, you want to play bass in my band? I said, okay. And then that was Tuesday, and then Friday we were here. Friendly Spot was our first gig, and then the rest is history. But I'm a guitar player, but for some reason it took me a couple of weeks to get the rattle out of my notes, but it just came pretty naturally to me playing bass. And all the bass parts are pre-written. Tex-Mex Taco Rock, the bass parts are pretty standard. It's cumbias and polkas, and then there's a bam, bam, bam slide thing you do. So it was a crash course in Tex-Mex bass.
Chris, can you explain Tex-Mex Taco Rock? And
Well,
how does it affect your keyboard?
it's basically kind of a polka stepped up, I think. And it's kind of a cross between ska and polka.
And surf.
Yeah, surf music.
Woolly Bully and 96 Tears. Right there. There's your definition.
That's it. Like
And then Sir Doug.
question mark and the Mysterians.
Sir Doug was she's about a mover. that whole 60s vibe.
And Mike, what's it like playing with Joe King?
With Joe, it's a good experience. Honest with you, it's the first band I ever started playing music with, officially. You know, and through the years, I started learning more about drumming and playing with different. I played like from Joe till today with about 20 bands. You know, and then came back to him. It's funny how we go in circles, you know. But I never knew, you know. But they asked me again. I said, yeah, sure. Let me get it together and learn the music again, and you know, we're having fun with it, you know. So I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's just,
What's next for you guys?
It's fun.
Another CD?
Oh, we're gonna have a party in Wimberley and go swimming in the Blanco River.
Yeah.
Blue Hole.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
different
Chill
part.
out. Chill out.
That's Cypress Creek.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Anything else? Guys, that's it.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna have Joe come join us, and then we're gonna say, you know, I'm Joe King and the Crowns, and you're watching Latin Fusion TV. There we go.
3, 2.
This is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. Today, we're here with Joe King Carrasco and the Crowns. We hope you enjoy our show. It's gonna be a live one.
And 3, 2.
This is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. Today we're here at Sam's Burger Joint. We're interviewing Joe King Carrasco and the Crowns. So stick around and we hope you enjoy our show. It's going to be a live one.
3, 2, 1.
God, it was a great interview today. We had a great time with Joe King Carrasco and the Crowns here at Sam's Burger Joint. We really hope you enjoyed our show. Until next time, this is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. Take care, God bless, and cool runnings, man. This is Michael Ariano from Sam's Burger Joint. We really hope you enjoyed our show today with Joe King Carrasco and the Crowns. So, until next time, take care, God bless, and cool runnings, man. Hey, this is Michael Ariano with Latin Fusion TV. We want to thank everybody here at Sam's Burger Joint, especially Joe King Carrasco for the use of his crown, and the Crowns for the fine interview that we just had. Everybody, take care, God bless, and cool runnings, man.